So let's talk about breath work. So there's lots and lots about breath work and how important breath work is. For me, it's just an indication that we've stopped breathing correctly. A lot of us are holding on to so much stress, and that shallow breathing just becomes a natural way. So let's talk about the two types of nervous system that we want to support with this breath work. So we've got the parasympathetic nervous system that ideally we work in. So with that, that's the rest and digest. That's our stomach, how we digest food, but also how we rest and how we relax ourselves. A lot of us are working in the sympathetic nervous system, so we're stressed out. A lot of us are on fight or flight, that kind of adrenaline, cortisol levels, so which is fine. Obviously, those hormones are there to support us. We need them, but we also need to support the parasympathetic nervous system. So how we regulate ourselves and how we bring that nervous system back down. So I'm going to go through just a little bit of a breathing technique, and then we can do that. So I would recommend either doing this when you wake up, especially if you have not great sleep. You can do this, throughout the day. Really good because it's about the digestive as well, before a meal and always kind of after a meal as well. So you are regulating and allowing your nervous system to digest the food, so you're relaxing. I would recommend doing this when you feel as though you are on that high fight or flight moment, that stress, and then you need to bring yourself down, because again, it's about responding, okay, rather than reacting all the time. So let's go through just a little practice that I like to do. So I'm either laying down, making sure that I'm on the floor, either legs straight or feet on the floor, knees bent. And I want to make sure that I'm aware of my body being on the floor and grounding myself. Today I'm going to be sitting. So again, sitting is absolutely fine. Shoes off, grounding yourself and feeling the floor. You're going to take one hand to your chest and one to your stomach. This is to recognize those moments when you are not breathing and you are holding in, okay? So what we ideally want to do when we go through the slow breath is we feel a rise of our hands and an opening, and as we let that breath go, our hands go down and everything starts kind of melting back into the floor, and we feel that sense of relax. So either eyes closed, eyes open, whatever works for you. You're going to breathe in for 4 counts, slow, in through the nose. So we breathe in, allowing your hands to expand, open, out, feel the movement. You're going to hold that breath for 2 counts. As you breathe out for 6, you then allow yourself through your mouth to let the hands drop, feel the body relax, and then we're going to go again. So we breathe in for 4. Hold for 2, and we let that breath go for 6 counts. Good. Now you can do 3 to 4 cycles of this, regulating, getting a sense of how you are feeling to how you're feeling after those 3 or 4. If you need to go a little bit further, a little more cycles, then go with it, okay? We then want to gradually work that. So if 6, then you need a little bit more on the breath out. Maybe you could go to 8. And go to that 5 or 6 cycle. Maybe in the morning you've got a very short window where that breath work is needed. So then go with that. Another really, really important thing as well is to help regulate our nervous system is humming. So when you breathe in for 4, you hold that breath for 2. You can then go out for 6 breaths out. Humming and letting it go. What we have is then vibrations. It helps support us, and it's a really, really wonderful feeling as well, because it supports our vagus nerve and it calms us. So those moments when you're singing loud, those are all the moments, and why you feel so liberated is because it helps support the vagus nerve, which is an important nerve for our stress levels, okay? Regulate it. Humming, again, like I said, we can hum as we're walking around. I tend to do that and my children think I'm going mental, but singing, humming the songs, humming or letting the air go out in a kind of a humming vibration. That's what we want. We want it to vibrate because we want that stimulation. Okay, what we want to recognize is those moments where we are on high alert constantly. Our body is tiring, so our body starts then switching off. So if you can vibrate, if you can start regulating that breath work, what you are is igniting, getting that body going. Okay, so again, take your time with this. Start slowly. 4 breaths in, hold for 2, slow breath out for 6. You can then extend that to 8. Incorporate the humming. You can have a moment of humming. If there's music on, you can hum to the music so you don't sound too crazy. But again, like I said, you want that ignitement, you want that stimulation within, and a positive stimulation rather than that heightened stress stimulation. Have fun,